Hello, welcome to Latitude, Mumbai and beyond. I'm Nick, and what I'm going to do today is make a dish for us that is a fusion of my taste with Indian. What I'm making is called it's very similar to called Kashmiri Pulao, but it's different. I'm going to start off. I have about 2 tablespoons of ghee, which is clarified butter, heating here in my pot, and I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of chopped pistachios, and a 1/4 cup of chopped almonds, and a 1/4 cup of raw cashews. And they're all going to go in here and start cooking until the smell they start turning brown and start turning nutty. In a true Kashmiri Pulao, there is also raisins and pineapple can be added, but I'm just making a simple nut and rice dish. Some with some flavor. This is going to be very good. And the secret to bringing the flavor of nuts out is to toast them. And what I'm doing is just cooking them over medium heat and letting them turn really nice and golden. The almonds are whole almonds I just sliced up, and the pistachios the same way. For this, you will need to use raw cashews and almonds, and the pistachios are toasted, unsalted, but to get the cashews and almonds, there are several great mail order sources. I use Amazon to get them, and it smells so good. I'm just going to let them toast just a little bit longer till we get the almonds and all toasted, and cashews. Okay, another thing that this is also going to bring is a lot of crunch to the dish and flavors. Okay. And it's looking really good now. This now, let's let it go about another 30 seconds, and we're going to set it onto a plate. I'm just going to set it over to a plate and reserve the oil. And now, one of the most, if you've never cooked Indian or had Indian before, the most important part of any Indian dish is the masalas, or the spices. And I'm going to cook this with several spices that are a little bit different. The first thing I want to add into it, actually, is 3 cloves. Whole cloves. And just want to let it toast just a little bit till the cloves start smelling real good. Then, about an 1.5 to 2-inch piece of cinnamon. And this is actually true cinnamon from India that I've ordered. And usually I cook it till the cinnamon starts to turn a little brown. Then our last thing is 6 elaichi, or green cardamom pods. Green cardamom is the vanilla of India, and it's the main flavoring of their sweet dishes. And you just want to cook them, see how they've kind of puffed up? That's where we need to be. Now, we're going to add in 1 cup of soaked, rinsed, and soaked basmati rice. And we're going to give it a quick stir. I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit, too. I took 1 cup of basmati rice and poured cold water over And using my fingers, stir it until you see the water turning milky. Drain it off, and do that a total of 5 or 6 more times until the last time that you do it, your rice water is clear. And then cover it with about 2 inches of water and let it sit 30 minutes. And then drain it and let it drain for probably 3 or 4 minutes until it gets, till there's no more water dripping from your colander. Now, that looks really good. See there? Now, in goes a 1.5 cups of water. Of course, as usually, you use 1-to-2 ratio, 1 cup rice, 2 cups water. But since we soaked the rice, and I found out from my experience, use a little bit less than 1-to-2. Now, this is a nutmeg. I'm just going to grate a little bit of nutmeg in there and start stirring it. Stir that in. Now, my last thing I'm going to add is something that is very important flavor. This is 2 tablespoons of milk with about 10-12 strands of saffron that I've mixed in here and let it set. It'll give a nice yellow color to the rice, and also it'll give a wonderful sweet aroma to it. Wish you could be here. It smells so good. Now, I'm going to bring it up to a boil and just stir this. Keep stirring. And make it really, this is going to be really good. You can serve it with a lot of dals or lentils. Also, would be great with a good curry sauce, like tikka masala would be delicious with it. Or just with some good naan or roti bread. That would be very good. And this has just such a wonderful flavor from the saffron and the spices that it really will be very good. And then the nuts give it a wonderful crunch. And now I'm going to reduce my heat down to very low, put a lid on it, and let it simmer 14 minutes. See you in 14 minutes. Okay, it's been 14 minutes, and now our rice is done. And now, when you fix basmati rice, just use a fork and fluff it. Notice how nice and soft and fluffy it is. Now, go ahead, and when you do it, fish out your piece of cinnamon. Let me just do this the easier way. Take out your cinnamon. And now you're going to add in about half of your toasted nuts. Good. And just give it a quick stir, real quick. Just toss the nuts in. And this is it. Just serve it like this. Top it with some of the toasted nuts. And it's a wonderful rice dish. Thank you, and join us again on Lattitude, Mumbai, and beyond.